Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and we have some big news coming from Alec Dawson, lead designer from Hearthstone, in charge of all the balance patches. He tweeted this out earlier today, or yesterday I guess as you're watching this, with the balance schedule over the next month, with 2 Warlock changes coming on August 31st, so in a week, and then for the next week and a half or so after that they'll evaluate the meta, and then on September 10th decide if more changes are needed. And basically it states here that they're going to do 2 Warlock changes, upping mana. So I thought I'd talk about what I think they're going to do and why I'm concerned, why I'm genuinely concerned about at least what this hints at, right? So talked a lot about Warlock, how it's problematic, how the quest line with, the infinite fatigue damage basically eliminates all control strategies from the game. And well, if we're just increasing mana changes, I don't think they're going to directly nerf the Demon Seed. So right away, you can kind of take the Demon Seed out of it. Unless they make Tamsin cost more than 5 mana, the reward, I don't see it happening. So I'll go into the nerfs that I think are going to happen, and then what I would like to actually see happen after that. And what's concerning about, what I'm concerned about in general with their nerf philosophy. It's changed lately, and it's been kind of just off. It's been off to me. So they're saying mana changes. So there's 2 Warlock decks right now that are pretty powerful. The most powerful one, at least according to H's replay at High Legend, is the Handlock variant. The Handlock variant doesn't run Stealer of Souls, doesn't run Dark Glare. It shares some similar cards with Backfire, some of the healing cards. But overall, I don't think they're going to hit any of the utility cards, like the draw cards or anything like that. I think they will nerf Flesh Giant again. That's my big thought for this deck, that they nerf Flesh Giant again, because going from 8 to 9 has basically changed nothing. Flesh Giant comes down on turn 5 or 4 for 0 mana, still pretty consistently in Standard, let alone Wild. And by the way, Wild, I don't think is going to get addressed with this patch either. Well, maybe they'll ban something. I don't know. We'll talk about that as well. But regardless, I think they nerf Flesh Giant again. And because they screwed it up the last time, right? Because it went from 8 to 9, I feel like this time, instead of going to 10 like I originally suggested, they might just put Flesh Giant to 12. Be like Mountain Giant. And just be like, screw it. We're gonna slow it down a lot this time. Get it right. And I actually think it might go to 12. I think they might go that far just to be like, all right, we gotta make a significant change here. And I mean, the other cards you could hit in the Handlock deck, you could make Backfire 4 mana, but that would be probably pretty silly. You could hit some of the healing, but I don't think you want to do that. You could hit the Null, the neutral Rush minion, but I don't think you want to do that either. I think it's obvious Flesh Giant's still the best card in the deck, even after the nerf. I feel like Flesh Giant has to go to 10 or 12, something like that. And for the other decks, the whole 6 demon deck, I feel like you have to hit Stealer of Souls. That's the key card in that deck that's absolutely can break the game. You can tutor it with the free admission and all that. And Stealer, I think, might just get the Il'gynoth treatment and go from 4 to 6. Maybe see a stat increase to a 4/8 as well. But what I think will happen is that that Stealer will go to 6 mana. I think it'll go to 6, so that even if you hit with a free emission, it goes down to 4, and then you get another weapon discount. It's 3. It's still not consistent to really cheat out, get out early. And that deck is already on the it's already playing with fire with how much risk they have to put to get that through. So I think Stealer goes to 6. I don't know if they unban it from Wild. I feel like they probably don't go down that road. And before we get into the nerfs that I guess I would like to see instead of what we might get, I do feel like Wild needs something, and I really hope they haven't forgotten about Wild here. I know Ixar had talked about it, that it's on that point that I feel like with Wild, these nerfs don't really do a heck of a lot. Flesh Giant would slow it down a bit, but I still feel like you just have to probably ban the quest line in Wild, because you have Crystallizer. I don't think Dark Glare is getting hit. I think you have to ban the quest line, and with the Flesh Giants being slowed down, maybe that would do the trick. But again, I mean, I could be totally wrong. They might not be nerfing any of these cards. It could be totally different. But I feel like if they don't address Dark Glare, they don't address it properly, or they don't address the quest line in any way, they have to ban it from Wild, or else Wild's just going to be in the state which people are really not happy about, where you can't play anything but Warlock or a super hard counter, because other than that, you're absolutely screwed. And I wanted to talk about, what I would actually like to see get nerfed what for this next patch, and it doesn't involve mana. I feel like they're getting like way too caught up in let's make something one more mana but bump the stats, keep the effect. We're seeing that a lot lately with the cards, and a lot of it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't change the issue of the card, which is the text on it, not so much the mana cost. Yeah, you slow it down a tiny bit, but if something's broken at 3 or 4 or 5 mana, it's probably broken at 1 more mana above that. And we've seen that even with like, you know, Incanter's Flow. We've seen it with Kolkar Packran. We've seen it with Forgeborn for Shaman. They're this constant, like, we don't really want to kill cards anymore or really hurt them, but the reason people complain about them is they're really unfun to face. They don't like facing it, so that's why you kill it. That's why they did that back in the day. That's why they would gut cards, because they felt horrible to face, and they want to make sure that people don't really have to face them anymore. And we've gotten away from that, and that's why these metas feel very similar, why they're still as frustrating as before. And yeah, so for what I would actually like to see get nerfed, I think Flesh Giant, if they make it 12, that'd be fine. I think that'd be a good change. Flesh Giant needs to get bumped. It's still egregious how early it comes down, and I would be down for that as well. Stealer as well, I'm totally fine for. But honestly, whole point I'm going to get at is the quest line. The Demon Seed is fundamentally broken, in my opinion, that as long as it's playable, as long as it's a meta-defining card, you cannot play a realistic control strategy. You cannot play a realistic, like, mid-range slow strategy with that card in the meta. It's just impossible. If you're going to take infinite fatigue damage from the class with the best draw and all the self-damaging stuff and life tap, you just can't beat it. It's impossible. It's just, unless you have a combo, unless you have an aggro strategy, you can't beat that. And you could slow it down a lot, and maybe it makes it unplayable, which then makes Demon Seed not ruin that. But I feel like they need to nerf Demon Seed. The Demon Seed, unless they're going to kill every supporting card around it and no longer print any support for it for the next year and a half, is going to create this problem. So what would I do to the Demon Seed? Well, I would just change it that fatigue damage no longer counts for the reward, so that you can try and outlast the minions. You can try and outlast, you know, the damaging cards, but you don't have to outlast infinite fatigue damage. That's the main change I would make. You could, you know, make it more expensive to get the requirements done. You could do all this different stuff. But if you take the inevitability of the infinite fatigue damage away, then I feel like that quest line isn't as problematic forever and ever. Infinite damage is just not good. Infinite value has never been good. It's always been something that's led to toxic and bad things in Hearthstone. And, well, Mage also has that with Ignite, so that's also problematic and something we talk about maybe another day. But yeah, I feel like basically, I feel like they should nerf the quest line. I really feel like that. But based on these comments, I don't see it happening. And I'm just troubled that, you know, it's either the quest line's going to be unplayable because they nerf all the support cards, or it's playable and it destroys an entire archetype or 2 off ladder. And I'm not a fan of that. I like playing mid-range, like slower mid-range strategies, control strategies. I like playing that stuff. And right now, I can't realistically expect to do that when I face as much Warlock as I do. So let me know in the comments below what you think the nerfs will be, what you want them to be, all that good stuff. And yeah, the show go live next week, and I'll let you guys know as soon as they announce what they are, and my thoughts on it. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.